Hey Leo, this is Carrie at wooingnature.life. Hope everything is well. I am feeling really great and really excited about what's happening right now in the month of March. I just took a look at the full moon view, and you take a look at it too. Right on this channel, if you go to the playlist that has the full and the new moon view, you can see what's happening in March, around March the 9th for the full moon for March. And the energy is really powerful. It's about spending time to think about what you have planted, what seeds have already been planted, and the harvest, and expecting the harvest, which is really just an act of faith. When you anticipate the harvest, you know that it hasn't happened, like you haven't actually received the fruits of your labor, but you know that they are coming because you know you've planted good seeds, or you know that you have planted them in solid soil, or you know that you have been watering and nurturing yourself, or nurturing an idea or a concept or a project, or even nurturing another person in hopes that you'll build some bridges there. And so whatever you've been working on in terms of that, then you can expect the harvest to come right around that time or shortly thereafter. And so it asks for us to be in a place of gratitude and thanksgiving for that, and also to anticipate more. You know, it actually said to expand what you think the harvest is going to be. So I think it's a really powerful time, and for everybody, since the moon is talking about harvesting what we've been growing and what we've been nurturing, I decided that it would be good for us to go to Money and the Power and the Money and the Law of Attraction cards, just to pull a card to see where we are and get our thinking situated around abundance, around the harvest, and what that may look like for you, Leo. So I'm going to pull a card from this deck, and then I'm going to jump right in to the Sun and Moon Tarot, just to give you your regular reading. Alright, so I'm just going to file through these, and whatever comes up, we'll take a look at that and read that for you, Leo. If you feel like you want to get a full moon reading, you can do so by contacting me at the information that's in the description box underneath, and that's just a personal full moon reading. So first go to the full moon view on this channel, and then after that, if you feel like you want to know exactly how you're fitting into that scheme of things, you can reach out to me and we can do a full moon reading for you. Hold tight, let me grab your card and I'll be right back. Okay, so the card that was pulled is I am the attractor of my every experience. And what I'm seeing here in this card is a person, and then their head is kind of chopped off, and above their head it looks like a sun, but it's also their face, and it's facing forward, which is really interesting to me. And then the body of the person looks like rows. There's houses, and there's roads, and there's hills, and there's green things and trees growing. So this goes right back to me to that idea of harvest. Just looking at the image itself is this idea of there being a harvest, and that harvest is coming. I see this person facing sideways, but then within them there's another level. So to me this kind of seems like an ascension process. So there may be an ascension process involved in that. But the message says, I am the attractor of my every experience. So you are attracting your own experience right now, and whatever you're experiencing, you're drawing it to you. So if you perceive it as a negative, or if you perceive it as a positive, do some self-examination around that and ask yourself, how is my energy drawing this to me? Because even if it's a negative situation, your energy may be drawing it to you to learn something or to get a particular experience from it. So it's just because it may feel like it's negative doesn't necessarily mean that it is. So I'm going to read the passage on the back here. It says, you are meant to live an expansive, exhilarating, good feeling experience. And again, as I mentioned to you, the stars are saying, or the moon energy is saying, to expand your concept of the harvest. So this idea of having an expanded notion of something, or expanding your thinking around it, I think that that's part of that image of the other image that's coming out of the head. Whatever's in your head, expand that thought. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this time and space reality. You were born knowing that you are a powerful being, that you are good, that you are the creator of your experience, and that the law of attraction, which is the essence of that which is like unto itself, is drawn, is the basis of the universe. And you knew it would serve you well, and so it has. So this goes along with what I was saying about whether it seems like a positive experience or whether it seems like a negative experience. It doesn't matter. What it is you are aware at a spiritual level that every experience has some value and has some worth to your life. And so if you think outside of that that judging thing, like where you judge something as bad or good, then I think that you will get a chance to see really what it is that you're learning and what it is that you're getting and how it is expanding you in a different sort of way. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go right to the Sun and Moon Tarot. And I'm just going to draw randomly here just to see what Spirit has to share with you for the month of March. All right, so let's take a look here. Looking at what Leo needs to know for the month of March. Information for Leo for the month of March. All right, so I've got the Princess of Cups. The Princess corresponds to the pages in the regular tarot deck. So this is a message that you may not be receiving, and the message has to do with your heart. It has to do with giving, and it has to do with communicating from that aspect, and I get that from the dolphin. The dolphin is a totem that is associated with communication and intelligence, very Mercurian in nature. And so it seems like to me, Leo, right now you may need to be communicating to someone or even to yourself about how you're feeling, and also to dig a little deeper into where those emotions stem from, because there may be some additional directives, or it may even help you understand better what you are feeling emotionally as you're communicating it outwardly to someone else. Sometimes we can hold our emotions on the inside and we feel like we're clear about what they are, but until we start speaking them and until we start expressing them to another person, we don't hear ourselves, okay? So make sure that you're not just keeping things bottled up inside, especially where your feelings and emotions are concerned, but that you're actually communicating them out. Don't be afraid to do so. The next card is the Star card, which is a card of hope. It is about you connecting to your star power and to your star energy. Star energy for me is the way that we connect to our higher spiritual selves. And so it's like being able to take your higher self and your physical self, or the self, the part of yourself that is having a physical reality, and being able to merge those in such a way that you don't feel separated, or that you don't feel like you don't know what's going on. It's like, you know, when you're in a place of meditation and you feel good about yourself and you feel like you know exactly who you are, but then you have these experiences that try to throw you off from that, and then you don't feel confident anymore, or you don't feel like you know what you're doing, or you have a lot of questions about yourself, or you're questioning your experience a lot. The star, when you're in your star place, it's when all of that merges together and you're very clear. So I think that this communication that needs to happen as far as the emotions are concerned is going to clear the space so that you can actually so that you can have that merger, so that you can have that clear understanding. Oh, You guys know how it is with me and these cards. They go everywhere. We have the Emperor card next. The Emperor is about order, bringing order back to your situation or establishing a new order for yourself. And if you start doing that communication around your emotional side, it's going to change the way you do things. It's going to change your modus operandi. And the Emperor is definitely about modus operandi. It's like your routines. It's like the stuff that you always do, the things that you always say, that become it's like your status quo. But when you change the way that you approach a situation, it also changes your status quo. It changes how you're operating. And right now, it seems like that would be a good idea. Right now, you're doing some heavy contemplation. You're contemplating, and you're going in. I can see that here with this card and the person that's sitting here, and they've got their mind focused on one thing that's in their own lap. And I understand that. Like, I understand what that feels like, and I also understand when you have to be at that place. But now is a time when you need to probably step outside of that, and take what's inside and pull it to the outside, okay? And by the outside, I mean be more open and be more honest with other people. Share what it is that you are feeling within yourself with other people. I mean, you don't have to stay bottled up. I don't want you to keep your energy bottled in. It's not going to benefit you at this time. And it could be from hurt, or it could be from, some kind of emotional baggage that you may be carrying around that. You may be feeling, and this is definitely ego, you may be feeling that, well, you don't want to say how you really feel because it makes you feel very vulnerable. But that's okay. Vulnerability is not the end of the world. It's just another side of the experience that you're currently having. So have a different experience, create a different routine for yourself, and also use that to tap into the star power that you really have. And I feel like that's the way to go right now for you at this time. Leo, we've got the Nine of Wands here. It seems like there's some things that you need to put behind you. It's probably a number of things. I'm seeing a lot of moons here again, which tells me that that's associated with feelings and emotions there, even though this is a Wands card, which relates to your fire or relates to your power, and also relates to your spirit as well. But I think that these emotional things, baggage, issues, you need to start to put those things behind you so that you can really get to the good part, Leo. And you're waiting for the good part, but the good part is waiting for you. Yeah, the good part is waiting for you, and it's waiting for you to release. More importantly, it's waiting for you to release. Hold on. All right, here we go. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune represents change. Change is very important. Change is very important, and the change is on the way. This is the change. This is the change that you need to make. Leading up to this change, what needs to happen. It is a positive change. It's coming in the upright position, which means that it's a positive change for you. So if you're feeling like you're resisting it, don't resist it, because it's actually a better experience. You've been wanting a better experience. So if change is coming, it should just be for the better. Again, remember when we said to expand your expectation of the harvest. So your harvest is good. It may have been bad in the past. I've got a disappointment card that came up for you with the Five of Cups. Things may have been disappointing for you in the past, but the change represents a change from what was disappointing. In the Five of Cups, it's you don't want to focus. It is when you have the Five of Cups, you do want to do a fair amount of self-reflection, but you don't want to spend so much time reflecting on the negative that you forget to focus on what you gained from the disappointing experience. One of the implications for the full moon, particularly around the planet Jupiter and its relationship to the moon, has been about, I love being outside, but sometimes things come out of nowhere. I was saying that one of the implications for the moon and its relationship to Jupiter, Jupiter is saying to look at the failure and see how the failure has really benefited you in the long run. It's how the failures create positives in your life, whether it's to strengthen you, or whether you learn something about yourself or learn something about the other individual or other individuals in your life. Maybe it brought you to a place of forgiveness where you could let go and not hang on to negative thought processes. Whatever the experience was, positive or negative, is there for your own inner growth. So don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on it as being, oh, my heart was broken, or I don't have the love that I want, or, nobody cares about me, or something like that. Don't focus your attention so much on that. Think about what you received because of it. How did you benefit in the end result? So I'm seeing that this is a completion, a time of completion for you. Again, when you have the Wheel of Fortune where there's change, it represents like coming to the end of a cycle and starting a new one too. And I see that again in this card here. It's like you've been turning the wheel, and it looks like you and this other person have been on a mission together around that. So if it was a relationship problem that you were nursing or dealing with, then just know that the two of you were together creating an experience that both of you needed to have. And what you get from it and what the other person gets from it may be two totally different things, but that's okay. You've got to focus on what you gained from it ultimately. All right. So Leo, that is your reading for the month of March. If you want to get a little deeper into it and you want to know how this is affecting you on a very personal level, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will be giving full moon readings from March 2nd until the 9th, and then we'll be ready for another new moon cycle coming up toward the middle of the month. And you can check all of that information out. You check us out online as well at wooingnature.life. As always, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're having a wonderful life.